Welcome back for another video. We've rounded up the experts for the double Gameweek 23 episode of the experts. It's another big one this game week, with not just a double game week up next, but a game week 25, which has now become both a blank and double game week. If you're new around here, this series consists of hundreds of FPL managers who meet the requirements to participate, including many top all-time managers and content creators. So if you'd like to improve your rank through valuable experts data, make sure you're subscribing. Our top experts moved up the ranks considerably and we're starting to reach the point where some incredible ranks are being achieved. The top expert heading into Gameweek 23 is David Vo, who's moved up to 265th in the overall rankings after scoring 117 in Gameweek 22. Looks well on his way for back-to-back top 10k finishes after finishing in the top 5k last season. His total points are now 1,491. The average expert score last Gameweek was 90 points, so well done if you managed to beat the expert score. The average overall score was just 48 points, which is a particularly good game week to show the skill gap in the experts pool, 42 points above the overall average. So we've got another double game week in front of us, and let's start with the experts transfers. This week just 11% are rolling the transfer, 44% are making one transfer, and 39% are making two transfers. 6% are making three transfers. The hits are flying once again, with 28% of the experts taking the -4 and 4% are taking the -8. So don't be afraid to take a hit or two if it's logical for your team. We're in an unusual situation where we've got doubles and blanks in the next 3 game weeks, so some shrewd planning will be beneficial even if you sacrifice 4 or 8 points now to get it right. One expert has pulled the trigger on their wildcard, and they've shared their team and thoughts behind all the decisions, more on that later. Moving on to which players the experts are transferring in and out, and there's so much to break down here. The most popular transfer in is Saka, who's been picked up by 20% of those making a transfer, and it is Odegaard close behind with 17%. If you have both, you're in a very good position this game week, but if you only have the option to grab one, which one? It's a big call with double Gameweek 25 in mind as well, which we will talk more on later. They're very close. Over the season, Odegaard has 9.7 expected goal involvement to Saka's 9.41 XGI. Interestingly, if we look at the double digit returns over the season, Odegaard has 6, while Saka has just 1. Odegaard also has 18 bonus points to Saka's 9. And when he returns, he tends to pick up bonus. Odegaard's returned in 10 games and he's picked up bonus in 8. Saka's returned in 13 games and picked up bonus in just 5. But having returned in 3 more games, Saka's clearly got a bit more consistency. That said, Saka's also on penalty duties. They are both nailed, and if I had to pick up one, it would be Saka. But if you could put that money to very good use, then it has to be Odegaard. Morris is next and he's been picked up by 13% of the experts. Post World Cup he has 46 points, just 2 behind Haaland's 48. If you want to roll the dice for some pet roulette, for 7.7 mil he's an excellent pickup, and Man City don't blank in Game Week 25 either. However, the concern there is that we need everyone playing that game week when popular teams Man United and Newcastle don't play. Nketiah's nailed for the double game week, and probably in double game week 25 as well, but there is a chance Jesus could be back around then. It shouldn't be enough to deter you from picking him up, particularly with fewer forward options available at the moment, but it's likely to be a transfer back out down the line. The most popular Arsenal defender among the experts is Gabriel, with 6% picking him up. The most popular Man City defender is Lewis, interestingly, with 4%, but Ake and Akanji are both with 3%. Fernandes is the most sold player. This one has the potential to backfire, but it's an understandable move, as he has a single game week now and then a blank in game week 25. So a move such as Fernandes to De Bruyne or Mahrez etc. has the upside. I'm sure this one's a transfer they reluctantly make him. Despite Martinelli's double game week 23, he's the second most sold player. As we know, he was off before 60 minutes against Everton last game week, with Trossard coming on in his place. Now that we have both a double game week 23 and double game week 25 for Arsenal, it is imperative to have the right triple up. So if you have a route to Odegaard or Saka, it's worth the switch. There is every chance that Martinelli still does well, but we can no longer trust him for 60 plus minutes, and perhaps even gets a benching at some point, with Arsenal playing 5 games in the next 3 game weeks. It's almost entirely Arsenal Man City assets being picked up the most this game week, very focused transfers. The only players outside of that are Kane, Tarkowski and Kilman. So why Tarkowski and Kilman? They're 4.2 mil and 4.3 mil, so great enablers, and they both have a double game week 25. They also both have a nice run of games outside of the double game week as well. Kilman, you could even start this game week, and Tarkowski can play every week from game week 24 if required. Everton are also confirmed to play in game week 28 too, and Wolves have a good chance of playing that week as well, which will be the biggest blank game week of the season. This is a nice summary from Ben Crellin, who has mapped out the notable game weeks this season. Notice the size of blank Gameweek 28, 10 probable teams blank him. If you still have your free hit, there's two ways you can tackle that game week. Either using a chip then, in which case players like Tarkowski are less of a priority, or with some smart free transfers and then save your free hit for later in the season. Gameweek 29 immediately after is the biggest double game week of the season, which is also an opportunity to use it, or even wildcard. Failing that, you could free hit in Gameweek 32, 34 or 37. I've seen some talk of free hit in Gameweek 25, but I would recommend saving it. Let's have a quick look at the chip usage after last game week, and there's also a few chips active this game week. 2% of the experts had their triple captain active this game week. Best of luck to them this week. It will take some doing to beat Rashford's 20 points in Gameweek 22. Those that have it active are on Haaland. One expert has their wildcard active, Sean Coe. We caught up with him this week and he has shared his wildcard team, which is as follows. There's Kepa, Trippier, Lewis, Matoma, Saka, Ødegaard, Rashford, De Bruyne, Haaland and Kane. Here's what he had to say. Despite 110 points last game week, I have decided to wildcard immediately, as I only have White and Martinelli from Arsenal, and the announcement of double Gameweek 25 made it absolutely essential to bring in a triple up of Saka, Ødegaard and Gabriel. Even though De Bruyne hasn't been at the races lately, he does serve as a placeholder for a potential move to Salah in double Gameweek 25, and he's also a good option versus Bournemouth in Gameweek 25 if the Salah move isn't made. The decision to wildcard allows me to deal with both the blanks in Gameweek 25 and attack the doubles without having to make multiple hits during this period. I see this as the best chance to move players that blank in Gameweek 25 like Almiron, Tony and Botman on without hits, who are the players that I would need to get rid of eventually inside the next two game weeks in order to fill 11 in Gameweek 25. At the moment it could be a free hit in blank Gameweek 28, but with 6 players guaranteed to play then in the team, assuming no injuries, there is time and room for moves to be made towards both having a strong team down the line after Gameweek 28 and avoiding a free hit then. This depends on whatever news we get on the fixtures down the line. One thing that I have learned over the years is not to ignore the present for the sake of the future. While there may be bigger double game weeks and bigger blank game weeks down the line that may make a wildcard more suitable for them, I feel there is a lot of time for free transfers to deal with that, and the problems my team has now shouldn't be ignored because of future game weeks that we as of now don't know much of. 5 games in 3 game weeks for the runaway league leaders simply cannot be ignored. Best of luck to Sean with the wildcard and thanks for sending in. So a very quick look at the experts captaincy for Gameweek 23, and it's Haaland top with 83%. Lower than expected, you have to say. We do have some experts' thoughts on captaincy at the end of the video, and we'll talk more on that later. It is Saka in second with 10% of the vote, and Ødegaard has 6%. Gabriel captain is some shout, one expert captain in him. Is that crazy or is it reasonable? I read every comment on my video, so drop your thoughts on the video below. The manager with the armband on Gabriel has sent in his thoughts on that one as well, which we'll cover later. Before we look at the experts team, if this video has been useful, please drop it a like and make sure you subscribe for more FPL content every game week. Thanks for the support. So we're on to the experts team reveal for Gameweek 23, and this is the aggregated team of their highest owned players. The team is as follows. It's a somewhat unattainable team this week for some managers at a cost of 104 mil. This could be short of peak ownership all season, with many intending to sell him in Gameweek 25. You could swap Bruno for Saka, but White would need to drop out because of the triple up. So let's run through the team, which is Kepa in goal, a back 3 of Shaw, Trippier and White. The midfield is De Bruyne, Fernandes, Ødegaard and Rashford, with a front 3 of Nketiah, Haaland and Kane. For the first time this season, we have 2 players with 100% ownership among the experts, Haaland and Rashford. Trippier is close behind with 97% and Shaw 90% owned. Nketiah is 4 times as highly owned among the experts compared to the overall player base, a very strong differential to consider. On the bench it's Ward, Andreas, Bueno and Patterson. The 2 budget defenders have become issues at the worst possible time. They've both doubled in Gameweek 25, though Bueno was benched for 8-0 in the 3-0 win over Liverpool last game week, and Patterson is still out injured. They could still come good by Gameweek 25, perhaps you get 1 game out of them that game week. Decisions to make later on in terms of selling or keeping. I'm sure we'll see the template shift dramatically over the next few weeks. Each game week we ask the experts to offer their insight and tips for the game week ahead. Here's what they've got to say this week. Andrew Debenham says, really tempting to keep Bruno, not buy back De Bruyne after this week. However, I'll be trying to plan ahead rather than think about what's already happened. De Bruyne has 4 games in the next 3 weeks while Bruno has 2. Time to board the Kevin De Bruyne train before it leaves the station. This also enables an easy changeover to Salah in double Gameweek 25. Hot Knights United says, with uncertainties at Man City's starting 11, I think it's better to focus on having a strong and game time secure Arsenal trio for this double game week. Pala's in the same line of thinking, and he says, I'm only on 2 City, Edison and Haaland, and the upcoming doubles and uncertainty of minutes is going to keep it that way. Christian says the importance of having 2 free transfers going forward can't be understated. We're moving to the part of the season where we will see blanks and more double game weeks to come. There will also be even more rotation as the final stages of the European Cup starts. If you can manage to hold your transfer this game week, I think you're in a good spot. TomTom says, began the restart at 1.2 million and now ranked 120k. This shows progress is still possible by finding flaws in popular players, in my case Martinelli and Almiron, and getting the replacements right, Saka and Mitoma. Lots more opportunities to come with the upcoming doubles and variant chip strategies. Ben Coleman says, if I still had my triple captain chip, I would be putting on Haaland this week. Jesus Juggernauts was the manager on Gabriel captain, and he said, I'm heading into this game with no Arsenal mid, but I will have Zinchenko and Gabriel as a differential double up. I'm hoping the Brentford and City games are low score intense affairs. Both teams' defensive records so that isn't too unlikely. At this stage I'm on Gabriel as captain, as I believe all this unrest at City with the financial fair play investigation will have a significant impact on the playing group. Also, if Pep is going to be a lunatic and bench De Bruyne, I don't want Haaland as my captain. FPL Sean says, I'd have preferred to have saved my transfer this week to help with forward planning, but only Cancelo and Patterson. I feel it's important to ensure I have at least one active defender on the bench in case a defender randomly misses out. And lastly, FPL Kaki says, prioritise Arsenal players over Man City ones if you're targeting the double. Arguably a better team at the moment, of far more predictable minutes, as well as doubling Gameweek 25 and playing in Gameweek 28. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please drop it a like and make sure you're subscribing to the channel. There's more Gameweek 23 FPL content on screen now, and we'll be live on Saturday for the deadline. See you soon.